Hey, how's it going, everyone? Today I want to talk about express of interest. Very similar topic to what I cover already. In this particular case, there's already existing project, a tender, a government program that you need to express your interest in, and how to do it, how to craft a letter. An express of interest is a formal way for individuals, businesses, or organizations to communicate their initial interest in particular opportunity, project, job, or venture. It's often used as primary step before submitting a formal application or proposal. The express of interest are commonly used in various contexts, including business partnerships, job applications, real estate transactions, property transactions, and projects binding process. Here's more details explaining of how express of interest works. Primarily interest and express of interest serves as a way to express your initial interest in something. For example, if companies seeking potential vendors for a project, they might invite interested parties to submit the express of interest to indicate they're interested in participating in tendering process. Information gathering often includes basic information about the interested parties, such as their background, capabilities, and relevant experience. Selection process. After receiving an express of interest, the recipient typically reviews the submission to identify those that meet the criteria and requirements. Based on this initial assessment, they may invite selected parties to propose to the next stage of the process. Efficiency. Expressive interest helps streamline the selection process by allowing the recipient to identify the pool of potential candidates or parties before dedicating more resources to a formal application or proposal reviews. Non-binding. In many cases, expressive interest is non-binding, meaning that the expressive interest does not commit to interest party to move forward with. They are invited to submit a formal application, way to explore opportunity without making it firm commitment upfront. Customization, depending on the context, express of interest can vary in terms of requirements, context, and informal. Some organizations may provide specific guidelines for what should be included in express of interest letter, while others may allow more flexibility. Competitive context, in case there are multiple potential candidates or partners, an express of interest can be part of competitive process. That's a brief summary. I covered 7 bullet points of why would anyone would use express of interest and how it works. But it varies depending on the context. Brief summary, if it's up to you, how would you like to express your interest in an opportunity? I would highly recommend reading all the documents provided to everyone thoroughly, that you need to focus on all the details and what they are looking for. Sometimes within the scope, they would, and some parts they can be very specific of what they are looking for. Would that be looking perhaps for a group of people of 5, not necessarily or size of the company that they would like to work with, where the company that they would like to work with would be based. Perhaps for some cases it works with self-employed people as well. So that would be perhaps small businesses, large companies, what they're looking to work with. So if what I'm saying is if they're looking to work with you, and if yes, okay, what they're looking to do with that expressing interest. If they're looking to buy a product or services, let's say it's services, okay, what kind of services, what's the time frame, scope. So you need to read all the documents thoroughly and make sure you understand everything, and then when you're crafting your letter in which you would like to express your interest in opportunity, you should be within a scope and you should focus on those details and highlighting the facts why they should choose you. There's a lot of people how we're crafting a letter, so there's a lot of opinions. So I have been taking notice of one of the most famous people, business people, and how they are crafting letters. And it's interesting thing to see how they, what kind of framework they are using. But in this particular case, I want to talk about some examples online and do not go into too much detail how they are doing. Framework for expressive interest. That if you never did it, practice. Yeah, if you would if you, at any point if you had to write down any of those letters, practice makes perfect. And one of the examples that you could perhaps take a notice of, or you can find similar ones, I believe, online. One that I'll be sharing with you would begin with introduction, brief introduction about yourself, your company, your team. Moving to the next point would be background and experience, what you did, how long you've been doing it, why. Of the answers should be structured in a way where you would answer, show your marketing abilities and how you're gonna be solving this problem for those people who started this competition. The next bullet point would be alignment with opportunity. Is you need to be able to answer questions why you are most suitable person for this competition. Next one, value for value proposition. What is the reason why they started this competition in the first place? You need to answer this question. Previous work or project. You can highlight. You can use some of examples of what you have accomplished previously. You can work from there and then crafting your letter of intent. Collaboration approach. Briefly describe your approach to collaboration and style, willingness to adapt, and if there wouldn't be any problems within completing a project. Next bullet point would be next steps. State your interest in moving forward with expressive openness for further discussions, perhaps entering in a contract. Next bullet point would be contact information. Provide your what best way to contact you, perhaps best time of the day, a phone number if you feel like sharing that with everyone. And summarize if you feel you need to end with some words. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. If I had to offer some context, usually I would recommend in a business to begin doing, if I can, everything locally, but of course it depends where you are. There are a lot of opportunities up there. To the most part, if the local government or central government needs to purchase a product or services, there need to be competitive process in place where they would need to gather pool of candidates for that particular objective, and they need to gather a pool of those people, and then they need to have a particular process in place to select the best highest standard for lowest price. That's the most part. That's how it works. And yeah, so pay the least for the best standard, I guess, and then that's where competitive process begins. But it depends on what you express your interest in and what kind of opportunity. But to the most part, that's how it works. I have published a book. It's a daily planner that you can find on my company's website. I will attach some information below in the description if you want to take a look at it. I believe it's one of the best tools that everyone should at least have or understand how to use it when structuring your day, having daily routines, small rituals that you can follow, making it simple to understand at least how others approach their day, or if you feel that currently everything's out of control, have a little bit more control of your day, and having those routines is one of the best ways to have more structure when it comes to your day and see where structure will take you than thinking about long-term goals. If you have those goals in your life, yeah, I'll be sharing that book with everyone who is interested. Yeah, you take a look at description below. Thank you. Just to summarize everything what I have mentioned today, it's express of interest. It's one of the best ways to approach the different projects, different opportunities, different ventures, and show your interest within that project, and having that opportunity of expressing your interest and showing a group of people that you are there and you would be interested in working with them together and accomplishing their goals, how you're going to resolve some of the issues that they're having, and you can agree on the payment terms, how you're going to execute the project, what kind of product or services you're going to be bringing to the table. Yeah, it's one of the best ways of do that without actually binding documents. Just start that initial conversation. And yeah, thanks for watching. Good luck up there, and see you in the next one.